What's up YouTube? Welcome back to Crafting Cars. Today is part 2 of trying to get my Subaru STI back on the road. Let's jump right on it. Okay, so last video where we left off, I had the subframe on, the rack and pinion bolted up and hooked back up to the steering wheel, which is all huge. We still have the power steering lines and the tie rod ends to put on. So I'm going to thread these on to the inner tie rod end here, get it kind of close, just eyeball it before I hook it back up to my steering knuckle. I also have to connect the control arms back up, so I'm going to go ahead, throw you guys on time lapse. I'm going to get all this stuff bolted up quick. We have the subframe bolted back up right now and all the tie rods on. I have them set at equal intervals from the left to the right. What I'm going to do now is throw the wheels on the front so I can take a straight edge. I'm going to use that straight edge to dictate how much toe I have, because I don't want more toe on the front or the rear. So I'm just going to throw both wheels and tires on the front, and then I'll be able to take the straight edge right across the rim here, measure from the back to the front, and they should be the same. That way I'm sure that the wheels are pointed in the same straight line together. As you saw, I had some neighbors and buddies come over and we got the car aligned. We have about a 1/16 of an inch of toe in, which is plenty. Again, I'm just driving it like this to go get a proper alignment, so this should get me in the right direction. Now I'm coming up to the engine bay here. I'm going to be hooking up the pressure line and the return line, which is down here. I figured I'd take off the intercooler because then I can go ahead and route the lines the way that I want to in amongst all this stuff. And I noticed that the engine harness, the main harness connector here, isn't even bolted down, and that is why there's some definite heat affecting it from the turbo. So I'm going to get that bolted back up because the bracket is still on it right there. So I'm going to get that bolted back up. And as I was in here, I noticed that I was leaking a bunch of coolant and stuff, and that is because this line right here, which is for the turbo, it was held on by a zip tie and I could pull it right on off. I cut it off, put a hose clamp on there for now, so it's much tighter, but yeah, you can see all the blue coolant and stuff everywhere because this was leaking down onto everything. Now, this IAG AOS air oil separator kit, it's like a $400 or $500 kit. At least. All they send you for all these hoses and pipes and stuff is zip ties for hose clamps. I went onto the website to check because I was curious if the previous owner just put zip ties on there because they were that lazy or what. No, that's how the kit comes, which is absolutely ridiculous. You're paying that much money for one of these kits, that is asinine. So I'm going to be going through replacing all this stuff with fresh stuff, and then I'm going to have my brother jump on into the car and he's going to be turning the wheel all the way to the right, all the way to the left as I'm filling the reservoir up with power steering fluid, and we are going to get this sucker bled and put back together. battery's hooked back up. Everything should be ready to go. I'm gonna start it up, start turning the wheel with the power steering pump running, and try and bleed the system. Hopefully we don't blow any fluid out the reservoir. Here we go. So take it for a rip.
All right, let's see how this does. Okay. Okay. So right off the bat, you can tell that the steering wheel's off a little bit, but finally feels tight. Steering feels good. It's heavy. Man, you can hear all the rocks getting kicked up. Okay, now I'll turn left. I'll get on her just a little bit here on this back road. You can definitely tell the toe isn't quite right because it's not quite as darty as I would like. Oh yeah, and under the brakes she kind of dives to the inside, but the steering feel, I can drive this to an alignment shop no problem. That is awesome.
Alrighty, that's all it for this episode. We have the STI ready to go. All it needs is a alignment. Make sure that you're subscribed, you aren't going to miss anything. The clutch kit arrived for the BRZ. After that is wide body Civic coming up, and maybe one day we'll get this LS into the RX-7. If you've made it this far, I appreciate it. Be sure to leave a like, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.